Selena and The Weeknd were leaving Giorgio Baldi, and they're seen, she's kissing him on the cheek, her arms are draped over his shoulders, and then they plan a kiss on each other's lips.
Yep, that last line you heard was, "If I were you, I'd do me." Fans are citing the song as Selena's sexiest tune ever, and many think it's The Weeknd's influence. One fan tweeted, "Okay, so Fetish sounds like The Weeknd accidentally gave the record producers his lyrics and they made Selena sing it anyways."
TMZ reported that when Selena got home on Sunday, Justin arrived just 10 minutes later. Selena was hosting friends of the former couple and they all hung out. But don't worry, the two are definitely not secretly back together because Selena and Abel, aka The Weeknd, are still very much in love and he was aware of their meeting.
Was Selena and The Weeknd's relationship fake all along?
Girl, it looks like this might be the truth.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Exposing SMG. Today, we will be going back in time and talking about a celebrity couple we haven't really covered on this channel. As nostalgia has once again become a trend, we will be finding ourselves talking about none other than Selena Gomez and The Weeknd. Now, you might be thinking, but why? And honestly, out of all of Selena's relationships, the one that I've noticed never gets remembered is her relationship with The Weeknd. Now, just like any other Hollywood couple, this one is a little strange, and today we will be breaking down everything that went on with The Weeknd and Selena Gomez. Keep watching till the end to see how this story unfolds. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and let us know down in the comments below how you feel about Abelina. Was their relationship a hit or a miss? Before we continue, I should put a disclaimer. This will be public facts, and if you are looking for the inside tea about Abelina, look no further than the description box, as I will be linking all posts we've had about them since 2017. One last disclaimer. This is Hollywood, and when we are speaking about PR couples, just know that everyone in Hollywood takes part in a PR. Whether that is a friendship or a relationship or just special interviews for a special project. So please do not give us your empowering comments. We do not care if you're gonna say no musician needs another musician's help and blah blah blah. This is Hollywood, and mostly all of it is a scam. Now, sit back, relax as we go back in time. First and foremost, one thing we should mention is the aesthetic of the relationship. Celebrities and their lives are supposed to entertain us, and what is more entertaining than a good girl bad boy duo? We've seen it countless times with olden days Jelena and modern day Jelena. One small thing we should note is that Selena was going in and out of rehab during the end of 2016 and the start of 2017. She had just canceled the rest of her revival tour and was trying to revive her health. So during this time, she was mostly resting in rehab or resting with family and friends in Texas. The Weeknd was also consistently working, filming, and partying. When we first got photos of them on January 11th, 2017, it was safe to say we were all a bit shocked. I mean, I wasn't, but you get it. Good girl Selena hanging out with F-boy Abel? This can't be good. So naturally, we were all hooked. We have reason to believe that their relationship was a publicity stunt, a PR as you may learn to call it. And you may be wondering why we think this way, and this is the part of the strange thing about Hollywood. Everything needs to be good for business, and during this time, Selena was planning a music comeback, and Abel was starting to solidify himself as an artist. What better than to throw them in a relationship together? Selena and The Weeknd are a PR contract to gain publicity and attention. Selena was starting an era where she planned to be perceived as more sexy and mature, and I will talk about that era later in this video. And The Weeknd didn't mind having a beautiful girl like Selena play his damsel in distress. Also, in many PR relationships, there is always a dominant celeb and a smaller celeb. So obviously for Selena, the PR was meant to work in her favor from a career point of view, while for Abel, it was an additional touch to his bad boy image already. So throughout the beginning of their relationship, their teams kept pushing narratives out to major headlines, such as debuting their relationship at the Grammys, Justin becoming depressed over this new relationship, Selena and Bella Hadid are still friends, blah blah blah. They wanted to get people more hooked onto them, so they kept feeding stories to the media. Another way to get people more hooked onto you is to throw it in our faces. Literally, they used to post pictures of each other all the time. They would like pictures of one another all the time, be papped together in foreign countries all the time, but yet they still milked this "we want to be private" narrative. Little hard to keep things private when you're constantly posting about it. So it already had a strange atmosphere. And even the first ever photos we got of them were strange. They were at a very popular restaurant and were being photographed behind a dumpster, where Selena is looking straight into the camera. We even started getting more intimate photos of them shortly after, as they were celebrating Valentine's Day on a yacht. Now here is where things get a little interesting, and this is when we ask ourselves, who is responsible for all these PDA-filled pictures of Selena and Abel? Now, it is no secret that celebrities call the paparazzi all the time, and a lot of celebrity sightings are arranged, and if this is news to you, well, welcome to Exposing SMG, where we spill tea on all things celebrity related. Now that you're part of the club, you shouldn't let these smart celebrities trick you anymore. Back to Abelina. Selena and The Weeknd literally had a private paparazzi agency following them around everywhere. Yes, you heard that right. Let me introduce you to AKM GSI, a private celebrity news agency that is responsible for all of Abelina's pictures, from the first ever dumpster spotting all the way to their global photos. Now, obviously, a person wouldn't know where to spot that if they didn't know what they were looking for. Have you ever looked at a photo of something and realized that you completely missed the watermark on it? Usually it's at the corner of a photo, very easy to miss. AKM GSI are responsible for distributing all Abelina pictures, and here you can even take a look for yourself. All throughout Abelina's world trips, you'll notice the watermark of AKM GSI. They can be in Italy, France, or America. The devil works hard, but AKM GSI works harder. Now, obviously, this photo agency isn't only for Abelina. They are responsible for many, many, many celebrity photos in both America and Europe. However, AKM GSI is the #1 source responsible for Abelina pictures regardless of where they are. This is quite rare because celebrities usually get popped by many, many different types of agencies, because oftentimes you don't always have the same paparazzi hanging around. For Selena and Abel to get popped by one agency, and for that one agency to be a private agency, is quite fishy. You can't have the same people photographing them behind a dumpster in LA, be there to photograph them in Italy, and then tell me these pictures aren't staged. The pictures themselves look staged, and now you have proof that they are, since they're all distributed by the same agency. I mean, literally when they were in Italy, they staged fan pictures. Everyone thought that this photo right here was taken by a fan, but it's literally copyrighted by AKM GSI. Which makes you ask, what were paparazzi even doing in a museum? Unless it was a private photographer coming alongside with them on the trip. I mean, can you imagine the paparazzi with their big-ass cameras in a museum, and Abel and Selena can't see them and get them kicked out? Or I'll do you one better. Can you imagine paparazzi even allowed to enter a museum and cause that type of disruption? Yeah, I think not. Now, here is the part 2 of this strange relationship, and that is the image change-up. During this time, people have noticed that Selena took a different approach to music and had an experimental sound. Let us remember that this was 2017, and the last we got from Selena were songs like Same Old Love and Good For You. Her era at the time didn't last, but was constantly being compared to Lana Del Rey and Melanie Martinez. Many people in my old ask box were wondering why she suddenly took a 1980s risky aesthetic, and my answer was 2 words: The Weeknd. Once again, it is not uncommon in Hollywood for someone to try new things to bring in different audiences. Changing up your image is something everyone in Hollywood has done, and it is actually a good thing. However, with Selena, she has always been consistent with her pop EDM songs. Except this time around. So everyone was like, whoa, where did that come from? Since in the past we had songs like Come and Get It, A Year Without Rain, Love You Like a Love Song, Same Old Love, Me and My Girls, and yeah, you get it. She knew what she was good at, and she kept it that way for a while, until 2017, and then so on. During this time, Selena wanted her music and image to fit what The Weeknd's fans liked. I mean, think about some of The Weeknd's lyrics and then think about Selena's. They believed that by making Selena come off more sexy and edgy, The Weeknd's fans will also be a fan of her music, and then they could be this music power couple. It didn't really work out, and I'm not sure why. It could have been personal reasons that got in the way of work, but she didn't have this experimental era last any longer than a handful of weeks. Selena first released Bad Liar, and unlike her other songs from this era, Fetish, Bad Liar's change and risk factor comes from the music video, not really the lyrics. It's a music video that takes place in the 80s about a young teenage girl who was crushing on her volleyball coach, who is also a girl. And listen, I'll give credit where it's due. She had an interesting take, and I liked seeing her play every character in the music video. Many of you are probably wondering, well, where was the risk? But you have to understand that being a celebrity and hinting that you might be bisexual is quite controversial, especially if you're a Disney star with majority of your fandom coming from Disney, meaning she had/has a young audience. We also have to remember this was set in 2017. Selena has always kept a predictable and traditional image back in the day, so this had fans quite shocked, and it was different for her. And unfortunately, bisexual women are often sexualized, so this fit into the new image and change she was trying to have. And we have to remember that she was dating The Weeknd at this time. This wasn't anything his fans haven't heard before, and this wasn't even that risky to them. I'll never forget this one tweet I tweeted about how Selena looks amazing, but I know she didn't do it the healthy way, and then this tweet aimed at my account went viral claiming, "Honey, she's dating The Weeknd, they have cocaine for breakfast." So obviously, dating someone like The Weeknd, who was known to abuse drugs, party, and hook up, was a bit of change from the guy Selena is used to being around. What do you guys think about this, and did you enjoy Bad Liar? Is this the type of music you like seeing from Selena, or do you prefer more of her traditional songs? Moving on to Fetish, which was Selena's other song during this era, many people argued that she was a wannabe Lana Del Rey. And honestly, at this point, I don't know anybody who'd want to be Lana Del Rey. First of all, fetish is an exotic word that may relate to porn, and many countries would publicly censor words like that because it's inappropriate. I remember back in the day when we were on Tumblr, they wouldn't even let us tag the word fetish on posts. This point takes us to the music video, which is mainly consisted of Selena putting things in her mouth such as soap, lipstick, glass, candy, and an eyelash curler. Yeah. Not just the video, but the lyrics are also quite loud. Did releasing these songs do much of a difference in sales? Once again, no. They actually did worse than usual, and during this time, The Weeknd's fans wanted Bella Hadid back instead of hopping on the Selena train. My guess is because they were older and weren't easily amused. I don't know. But the songs did worse than usual, so the era got cut short. So then they tried to make Selena act more risky by posting stuff like this on Instagram and tagging Abel. And then they even started to make Selena dress more sexy to the point where people thought she was trying to copy Bella's style, because Selena isn't really a flashy dresser. So when everyone saw her in a completely sheer dress, people were hyping her up, but fans were confused as to why she had a personality change. Once again, Selena's fans were dangerously delusional and young. And I did see it with my own 2 eyes when they would cry about why she was dressing like an adult and this isn't the Selena they used to know and Abel is pressurizing her, blah blah blah. But then after that, the entire relationship just ended. I mean, I'm going to tell you it was because the PR contract was over and didn't get renewed, since Selena started flopping more with Abel on her arm than no man on her arm, so they just ended it, and very shortly after, we get Jelena again. And this is when we find ourselves in October 2017. And once she got back with Justin, which was, by the way, before the breakup announcement with The Weeknd, so everyone was like, whoa, when did Justin Bieber clock in? But whatever. Being back with Justin meant releasing more mainstream songs like Wolves and Back to You. Suddenly, no more Bad Liar and Fetish Selena because the audience got switched up again. And there was definitely a reason why we got so many headlines of The Weeknd cheating on Selena, while Selena stayed silent and never shaded him online or in interviews. Because once again, they were practically just friends with benefits. Well, there you have it. This was an overview look at some of the strange facts of Selena Gomez and The Weeknd's relationship. Tell us in the comments below how you feel about Abelina and if you think they were a PR or not. Let us know what other celebrity couples you're interested in hearing about. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.